But I'm Here For You Now by Dashzilla93. A dream. Scootaloo! A gentle voice softly called out.
It was Celestia!
Huh? Scootaloo opened her eyes. What? Who said that? She sat up on her bed in the room with other fillies in an orphanage she lived in ever since she was a tiny foal.
There was a panda on her head.
She looked around with the panda on her head and saw nothing but the walls and the ceiling and a few posters of Wonderbolts.
And maple syrup.
The maple syrup got into her eyes and she rubbed them away. There were 2 beds on both sides of the room. Scootaloo slept on the bed to the far left. The orphanage had little money, so the lights had to be turned off in the evening to save power.
And to murder people safely without witnesses.
This happened on a regular basis. Scootaloo was lucky to have been spared several times this week. The window between Scootaloo's bed and another filly's bed across from hers was the only light source needed for them, and the window was big enough for the sun and occasionally the moon to beam their rays of light for her and the other fillies to see and wake up. It was still night though.
All the other fillies wore glasses because they didn't like the sun, so they didn't want to look directly at it. But Scootaloo refused. So Scootaloo had really bad eyesight because she kept staring at the sun all day.
Scootaloo looked around again, her eyes blurry from staring at the sun too much. Then she fell back and tried to sleep, thinking it was just nothing. Her ear twitched when she heard Scootaloo again, which made her sit up and growl in frustration. What's going on?
Celestia opened the door in a rage.
The door banged open. What's going on? Who's there? She asked, but got no response. The white mare suddenly ducked out of the room again.
The ceiling started falling.
Scootaloo was about to go back to sleep when she noticed the ceiling was falling. Then she noticed a fainted flashlight coming from under the door and noticed a shadow appear just as fast as it disappeared. As the ceiling got closer, she blinked a few times before a chill ran down her spine. Anybody there? She asked again, but got no response. She shivered in fear as the ceiling got even closer, now touching the top bunks above her.
The panda started getting frightened and started clawing at Scootaloo's hair.
The panda clawed fearfully as Scootaloo also shivered in fear. She held the blanket over her muzzle.
Scootaloo peed herself, she was so scared.
Scootaloo, the voice called it out again. Scootaloo, damp in her own fear, threw the blanket away. She then jumped and then hid under the bed. Her shaking intensified, but she slowly calmed when she heard the soft voice again.
There was a giant spider under her bed named Ben.
The spider called Ben said, "Hello, Miss Scootaloo," and then Scootaloo jumped out from underneath the bed, looked towards the door. She had no idea who or what was calling her, or what it wanted, yet somehow the voice sounded oddly familiar. She didn't know why she recognised it. She never even met any pony with a voice as soft as that. What was going on? "Come home, Scootaloo," the soft voice chimed in her ears. Scootaloo perked up her ears and she widened her eyes.
It was Rainbow Dash!
"Who are you? How do you know my name?" The voice didn't answer. It softly said, "My little baby, come home," which got Scootaloo to... the story's been changed so much. Which got Scootaloo to walk towards the door, which she did. She stopped and noticed that the other fillies were still asleep. Their glasses all on the nightstands beside each bed, and they never bunched an inch. Did they not hear the voice? If so, why only her? Scootaloo. The calm
Scootaloo
voice
started flopping around the room in fear, waking up the other fillies.
The other fillies woke up to see a little orange Pegasus flopping around the room making a lot of noise. Many of the foals just went shh, while others put on their glasses to have a closer look. Some got out their cell phones and decided to take pictures, but then they all went back to sleep.
Except for one who decided to get revenge on Scootaloo by smashing up her Rainbow Dash shrine.
Scootaloo was distraught as her Rainbow Dash shrine was shattered, pieces laying all over the floor. The evil filly went back to her bed, smiling.
The panda went and attacked the evil filly.
The filly screamed in agony as the panda clawed out her eyes, leaving her screaming, wondering why she deserved such a cruel, horrible fate. The gods must have been cruel to her for hurting puppies in a past lifetime.
The panda put her glasses back in her and said, "Don't worry, now you can see." But you couldn't see.
The panda laughed at the filly's misfortune. The filly would have cried tears, but no tears would come because her tear ducts were now swollen with blood.
Nevel!
Scootaloo turned her head and glued her eyes back to the door. She didn't remember anything when she was a foal, but a whisper crawled out of her throat to elude from her lips the words, "I cannot English anymore." "Mum." Her eyes slowly widened in shock, confusion, and dismal.
"No, I'm Fluttershy,"
said Fluttershy, wearing a ninja suit.
Scootaloo jumped out of her khakis, turned around and said, "What the hey?" But there was no pony there, because no pony can see a ninja. The voice then called out to her again.
The Flutter Ninja started eating people.
The Flutter Ninja, unseen by anyone, started to eat the filly with her gouged out eyes. Scootaloo gasped, "Mommy!" She hesitated and grabbed the doorknob as the light grew brighter and brighter. Scootaloo! She opened the door and watched as a shadowy figure of a mare stood before her, where the light flashed behind her. A tear developed under Scootaloo's eye and slid down her cheek. "Oh, Mother, you came back for me! You came back!" She smiled happily, but it quickly faded when she saw a dark figure slowly faded from her view. "Wait! Don't go! Mother! Mother,
Scootaloo stepped in slime.
Scootaloo stepped in slime, and she tried to give chase to the dark figure, but she couldn't move. The slime held her tight. "Scootaloo! Mother, don't leave me!" she shouted as she tried to run, but the slime held her still. And as fast as she wanted to go, she desperately wanted to be with her mother. The shadowy mare faded and faded away. Scootaloo gasped, but no matter how much she wanted to get any closer, she just couldn't. The mare
Oh well, she
disappeared.
shrugged.
She shrugged and then tried to step back to her room, but she was still stuck in the slime.
Then Discord popped out from the place where her mom had just disappeared and said, "Ha ha ha ha! Happy April Fool's Day, Scootaloo!"